You watch someone walk into a room. They say a few things. Everyone leans in when they speak. Someone else talks twice as much. People's eyes glaze over. The difference is not volume. The difference is weight. Weight comes from knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Saying what you mean without decoration, being present so your words carry the force of your attention. That's what draws people in. Not how much you say, but how much your silence says, and how much your words mean when you finally use them. We spend so much time worrying about what to say. So little time worrying about whether to say it. You've seen it, maybe at a meeting. One person talks the whole time. Another says 3 sentences and the room remembers. Maybe at a party. Someone works the crowd with jokes and stories. Someone else stands in the corner and has one real conversation. Who do people seek out later? The one who was there. The one who didn't perform. The one who listened. The one who said less and meant more. Most people think attraction is about addition. Be smarter. Be funnier. Be more charismatic. Fill every silence with words, as if empty space is a problem you have to fix. We think the more we add, the more we're worth. More opinions, more stories, more proof we're smart or funny. But the Stoics knew different. Attraction is about what you remove. Stop performing. Stop seeking approval in every sentence. Stop fearing silence. The moment you stop needing attention is the moment you start getting it. It sounds backwards. But watch the people who never seem to try. They're not chasing the room. The room leans toward them. They don't fill the air with clever remarks. They don't rush to agree or to disagree. They're just there. Fully there. And that's enough. You don't need to be the most interesting person in the room. You need to be the most present. The one who isn't already thinking about what to say next. The one who isn't scanning for approval. The one who's actually in the conversation. The Stoics didn't write manuals on how to be liked. They wrote about how to be clear, how to be honest, how to stop adding noise to your own life and others. They wrote about subtraction, about what to remove. When you do that, something shifts. People don't gravitate toward the loudest or the smoothest. They gravitate toward who feels real, who feels present. You don't have to be the most knowledgeable person in the room or the funniest. You have to be the one who's actually there, not in your head, not on your phone, there, not rehearsing, not performing, just there. This is not manipulation. These are not tricks to get people to like you. It is communicating in a way that reflects actual character, instead of manufactured charisma. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Don't perform interest. Be interesting through how you speak and how you don't. That's the whole idea, not to argue about what good communication looks like. To do it. Not in theory, in the next conversation you have. Today we go through 6 communication principles. You might already use some of them. You might discover you've been doing the opposite of others. Both are useful. If you're already doing 1 or 2, you'll see why they work. If you're doing the opposite, you'll see what to try instead. None of this is about being someone you're not. It's about clearing away what gets in the way. Each one shown through specific words and phrases that make people want to be around you, not because you're performing, because you're present. These aren't pickup lines. They're not tactics. They're ways of being that show up in what you say and what you don't, in how you listen, in how you pause, in how you say no. We'll go through all 6. You'll see how they fit into a Stoic view of connection, how less really can be more, how the goal isn't to be interesting, it's to be interested. Number 4 is the one people get backwards. Saying more makes you less interesting. We'll get there. Pay attention when we get to it. The 6 we'll cover are all variations on the same theme. Listen more than you speak. Admit when you don't know. Validate before you solve. Get comfortable with silence. See the person, not just the role. Protect your time so your yes means something. None of that is about adding a new skill to perform. It's about stripping away what gets in the way of real connection. Less performance, less noise, more you. If this is your first time here, welcome to Stoic Ocean. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes after the hook. Drop a comment below. Which of these 6 do you already use? Or which one do you want to try first? Your answer helps me know what's useful. Stick around to the end. You won't want to miss how these 6 fit together, how they're not 6 tricks. They're one mindset, one way of being, shown in 6 different ways. Phrase 1. Tell me more about that. 4 simple words. They open the door to deeper connection. Most conversations are 2 people taking turns talking about themselves. We're so used to contributing to conversations by adding our piece, by sharing our take, by showing we relate. So when someone tells us something about their life, we think the right move is to match it, to show we understand by telling our version. We think we're building rapport. We're actually changing the subject. We're making it about us. Someone tells you they're learning guitar, or they just started a new job, or they're going through something hard. Most people hijack the conversation. They see an opening. They take it with their own experience. You walk through their door talking about your house instead of exploring theirs. Oh, you're learning guitar. I tried that once. Or, I had a job like that. Here's what happened to me. You step into their moment and make it about you. The door they opened, you walk through and shut behind you. They wanted to show you something. You turned it into a stage. We do it without thinking. We're not trying to be rude. We're trying to connect, but we're doing it wrong. We're connecting to ourselves instead of to them. It happens at dinner, at work, in line at the store. Someone shares a small piece of their life, and we're so eager to relate that we skip the relating. We think we're building connection by showing we understand, by sharing our own story. But we're not. We're switching the channel. We're making it about us. We jump to our story, our opinion, our fix. The other person never gets to finish the thought. They never get to feel like what they said mattered. So they stop sharing, or they share less, or they save the real stuff for someone who actually listens. We do it because we're eager, because we want to connect. But connecting isn't matching their story with yours. It's staying in their story until they're done. 4 words change everything. Tell me more about that. Then actually listen. Not fake listening. You know the kind. Nodding while you plan your response, waiting for them to finish so you can start. That's not listening. That's pausing. Real listening means your attention is on them, not on the next thing you'll say, waiting for your turn to talk. Half in the conversation, half in your head writing the next thing you'll say. Real listening is different, where you're curious about what they're saying, where you're not already composing your next line, where their words land before you respond. No rehearsing your reply while they're still talking. No scanning for a gap to slide your story in, just receiving what they say. You might think you're already doing this. Most of us overestimate how well we listen. We confuse hearing with listening. Hearing is passive. Sound goes in. You might catch the gist. Listening is a choice. You put your attention on them, not on what you'll say next, not on the time, not on the room, on them. They light up, because most people spend their lives waiting for someone to actually want to hear what they have to say. You cannot fake genuine curiosity. People feel the difference between performed interest and real attention. One feels like a transaction. I'll listen to you so you'll like me. The other feels like a gift. I'm here. I want to know. There's no script for that. You can't fake it for long. People sense when your curiosity is real and when it's polite. When you are curious, those 4 words open everything. They talk longer, they go deeper, they open up in ways they don't usually, because someone is finally asking and meaning it. They share things they don't usually share. Stories they've been holding, thoughts they weren't sure anyone would care about. Maybe they've said the same thing to 10 people who changed the subject, or who jumped in with advice, or who nodded and said, "That's like when I..." With you, they didn't have to. You gave them the floor. You kept your mouth shut until they were done. They remember how you made them feel. Feeling heard is rare. Feeling like someone actually wants to understand you is even rarer. They leave thinking, I felt interesting talking to them. That feeling is what makes them want to talk to you again. Not your wit, not your stories, not your accomplishments. The way you made them feel when they were in the room with you. That's what stays. That's what sticks. That's what they come back for. Years later, they might not remember your exact words. They'll remember that you listened, that with you they felt heard. Epictetus said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. He wasn't giving small talk advice. He was describing a way of life. Where you don't need to prove you're worth listening to, you show you're worth being with by how you listen. Listening is active. It's where real connection happens, not in your stories, not in your advice, in the space you hold for theirs, the space most people fill with their own voice. You're not there to be impressive, you're there to be interested. That shift changes everything. It changes how they feel in the conversation. It changes what they share. It changes whether they want to talk to you again. It changes how they remember you. Years later, they might not recall your exact words. They'll recall that you listened. Try it this week. Next time someone shares something, anything, before you add your piece, say, tell me more about that. Then actually wait for the answer. Notice what happens. They might pause. They might look surprised. Then they'll keep going. And the conversation will go somewhere it wouldn't have if you jumped in. Somewhere deeper. Somewhere more real. Tell me more about that. 4 words. 1 intention. The rest is presence. When you catch yourself about to share your own story, the moment they finish a sentence, pause. Say, tell me more about that. Then wait. Let the silence sit. They'll fill it. And what they say next will tell you who they are. Not their job title, not their small talk. Who they are when someone actually wants to hear. That's the goal. Not to impress, to understand, to connect. You don't need a better vocabulary or more charisma. You need to care what they're saying and show it by giving them space to say it. The Stoics didn't talk much about charisma or charm. They talked about attention, about not scattering yours on every thought and impulse. When you give someone your full attention, you're giving them something almost no one else does. In a world of distractions, that's rare. That's phrase 1. Simple on the surface, hard in practice, because everything in us wants to add, to contribute, to show we get it. The contribution is the silence. The showing is the listening. You don't need better stories. You need to let theirs breathe, to give them room, to not take over. Next, 3 words most people are afraid to say. Phrase 2, I don't know. 3 words. Most people are terrified to say them. Someone asks you something. A fact, an opinion, something outside your expertise. Maybe at work, maybe at a dinner. Maybe your kid asks you how something works. The instinct is to fake it, to deflect, to dance around your ignorance. Because admitting you don't know feels like admitting weakness. Like you'll look stupid, like you'll lose respect, like your worth depends on having something to say, so you fill the space. You guess. You give a long answer that doesn't really answer, or you change the subject, or you say something vague, hoping it sounds smart. But here's what happens when someone fakes knowledge. The answer has a hollow quality. You can hear it, you can feel it. You wonder what else they're faking. Fake knowledge doesn't make you look smart. It makes you look insecure. Like you need to be right more than you need to be honest. Like your worth depends on never being wrong. In a culture that rewards certainty, saying I don't know feels risky, but the risk is the point. The people who say I don't know when they don't know are the people we remember. We trust them, we go back to them, we ask them again. Now picture someone else. They get the same question. They pause, they consider, then they say, I don't know. No long explanation, no apology, no deflection, delivered calmly, as if it's not a crisis. Immediately you trust them more. Why? Because if they're honest about what they don't know, they're probably honest about what they do. You don't have to wonder if they're exaggerating or hiding something. You don't have to decode their answer. You don't have to guess what they really think. They said what they meant. That's rare. Socrates said it centuries ago. I know that I know nothing. Wisdom doesn't begin with how much you know. It begins with admitting the limits of your knowledge. The Stoics picked up the same idea. True wisdom isn't about never being wrong. It's about not pretending when you don't know. Confident people are comfortable saying "I don't know" because their value isn't tied to having every answer. They don't need every conversation to prove their worth. They don't need to be the smartest person in the room. They just need to be the most reliable. And nothing is more reliable than someone who tells you when they don't have the answer. Try it next time someone asks something you're not sure about, at work, at dinner, with your kids. Just say, "I don't know." Watch what happens. Nothing falls apart. The sky doesn't fall. The conversation continues. Often it gets better. Because now it's honest. There's a catch. Don't use "I don't know" as false humility. You know the move. Someone asks you something. You say, "I don't know. I'm not really an expert, but here's what I think." Then you give a paragraph showing you know quite a bit. That's not honesty. That's performance. When you don't know, say it, then stay quiet. Or say, "I don't know." Want to figure it out together? That last one is powerful. It turns not knowing into an invitation. Don't fake ignorance, and don't fake knowledge. That honesty is more attractive than any amount of manufactured expertise. It builds trust. It builds respect. People remember the person who said, "I don't know" when they didn't know. They forget the person who had an answer for everything and was wrong half the time. That person didn't build trust. They built a performance. And performances are exhausting for everyone. The person performing is always one wrong answer away from being exposed. The people watching are never quite sure what's real. 3 words. "I don't know." They take courage to say. They build trust when you do. The more comfortable you get saying them, the less you need to protect your image. And the more people feel they're getting the real you. No performance, no pretending. Just the person who doesn't need to know everything to be worth listening to. Trust is built in moments like that, when you could have pretended, and you didn't. When you could have filled the space with something that sounded smart, and you chose to leave it empty. That's phrase 2. Phrase 3. That sounds difficult. When someone shares a problem, our first impulse is often to fix it. We want to help. We want to be useful. So we jump to solutions. We're problem solvers. We want to help, so we jump in. Have you tried this? What if you just, "Why don't you?" We mean well, but we're missing something. We're solving the wrong problem. The problem isn't always that they need a solution. Sometimes the problem is that they need to be heard. That's it. That's the whole need. Someone shares a problem with you. Work is overwhelming. A relationship is struggling. Their kid is having a hard time. They're stuck. They're stressed. They're venting. They're not asking you to fix it. They're asking you to hear it. Maybe they'll ask for advice later. Maybe they won't. What do most people do? They immediately offer solutions. They skip the hearing. They go straight to fixing. Maybe you've done it. Maybe you've had it done to you. Have you tried this? What if you just, "Why don't you?" We think we're helping. We're not. We're dismissing them. What they hear is, "This is simple. Why haven't you figured it out yet?" You're not listening. You're already solving. Most people don't share problems because they want you to fix them. They share because they need to be heard. To feel like their struggle is real and seen. They need to say it out loud, to process it, to feel like someone gets it. Often they already have a sense of what to do. They don't need your solution. They need your ear. They need to not feel alone in the difficulty. When you jump to solutions, you make them feel worse. They still have the problem. Now they also feel stupid for not having solved it, and they feel unheard. Because you didn't listen. You went straight to fixing. Maybe they already tried what you're suggesting. Maybe the situation is more complicated than it sounds. Either way, you're not with them. You're ahead of them. Solving. When what they needed was someone beside them. Listening. 4 words change the game. That sounds difficult. No fixing, no minimizing, no comparing to your experience. No, have you tried? No, what if you just... No, here's what I did when. Just... That sounds difficult. Then stop. Don't add, oh, I had something like that once. Or here's what I did. That's not acknowledgement. That's redirecting. That's making it about you again. Just acknowledgement. What you're going through is hard. I hear that. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. The acknowledgement gives them permission to feel, without having to defend or solve immediately, without having to say it's not that bad, without you comparing their problem to yours. They keep talking because you didn't shut them down with advice, because you left space for them to keep going. They might talk for 5 more minutes, or 10. They might figure out what to do on their own, not from your solution, from hearing themselves think while you listen without judgment. Sometimes they just needed to say it out loud. That's how most people actually figure things out, not by being told, by being heard, by having one person who didn't interrupt with advice. The gift is your patience, not your wisdom, your presence, not your fix. Most of us were never taught that listening is enough. We were taught to help, to fix, to have answers. So when someone shares a problem, we feel we're failing if we don't solve it. We feel useless if we're just listening. But solving isn't always helping. Sometimes helping is just staying in the room, just saying, that sounds difficult, and then being quiet, letting them talk, letting them think out loud. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." When someone shares a problem, they need tolerance. Not you being strict, not you telling them what they should do, not you turning their pain into a puzzle to solve. When you validate and make space, people bring you real problems. Deep stuff, the kind they don't share with people who rush to fix. They don't need you to have all the answers. They need you to not pretend. To be the person who can sit in the difficulty without running from it, without needing to fix it, without needing to make it better. Just there. If they want advice, they'll ask. And when they do, offer it as your experience, not as the solution. When I dealt with something similar, this helped me. Not, here's what you should do. That distinction matters. One feels like pressure. The other feels like support. One tells them they're doing it wrong. The other says you're not alone in this. Sometimes being witnessed is all someone needs, to feel like they're not alone, to feel like their struggle is valid, to have one person who didn't try to fix them or judge them, who didn't make it about their own similar experience, just sat with them in it. That's a skill. It doesn't feel like doing much, but it's doing the one thing most people won't. That sounds difficult. 4 words. They don't fix anything. They change everything. You're not their therapist. You're not their coach. You're the person who didn't turn their pain into a project, who didn't make them feel like they had to solve it in the next 5 minutes. That's rare. That's what people remember, not the advice you gave, the fact that you didn't give any, that you just sat there, that you said, that sounds difficult, and then you waited. When they're in trouble again, they'll come to the person who didn't try to fix them last time, who just said, that sounds difficult, and stayed. That's the kind of person people return to. That's phrase 3. Next, we talk about what might be the hardest one. Not words, the absence of them. Before we get there, if this is helping so far, subscribe and leave a comment. Which phrase do you want to try first? It helps me know what's landing. We're about halfway through the 6 principles. If this is helping, hit subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me which phrase you want to try first. It helps me know what's landing. Now, the one most people get backwards, the one that feels like doing nothing, but isn't. Phrase 4. Silence. Most people are terrified of silence. A pause in the conversation and they panic. They fill it with any words, anything. The weather, a joke, whatever fills the gap. Silence feels like failure, like we're not holding up our end, like we have to fill every second. So they talk more, and the more they talk, the less anyone listens. Words without weight are noise. The more you say when you have nothing to say, the less your words mean when you do. The person who says less often has more impact. We think we need to contribute, to add something. Sometimes the contribution is not adding. Someone comfortable with silence doesn't answer immediately. They pause, 2 or 3 seconds. They think, then they speak. One clear point. Everyone listens. Why? Because the silence before they spoke made the room lean in. Because they didn't rush. Because they gave the thought time to form. When they finish, they don't fill the space. They let the statement land. They don't rush to the next point. They let that one sit. They don't dilute it with the next thought. Silence creates weight. When you speak rarely, your words carry force. Every sentence has to earn its place. You're not spraying the room with half-formed thoughts. You're not talking just to show you're there. When you're comfortable with quiet, people fill the silence. They step in. They share more. Because they're not competing with your need to talk, because there's space. And in filling it, they reveal themselves. You learn more from what they say to fill awkward silence than in an hour of normal conversation. Because when people fill the silence themselves, they often say what they actually think, what they're actually worried about. The things they wouldn't say if you were talking. It only works if your silence is comfortable, if you can sit in it without fidgeting, without needing to fill it with the first thought that comes. If you're anxious, they feel it. Your discomfort with quiet makes them uncomfortable too. They'll rush to fill it just to help you out. If you're at peace with quiet, that calm is contagious. They'll relax. They'll slow down. They'll say what they actually think. Seneca wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life." People who talk constantly are often running from something, from their own thoughts, from what they don't want to feel. We fill the air so we don't have to sit with ourselves. People who've sat with real suffering learn that silence is full of presence and attention, that the best thing you can do sometimes is nothing. Just be there. Quiet. That you don't need words to be with someone, that your presence can be enough. The Stoics didn't value filling every moment with speech. They valued knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to add, and when to hold space. Most of us were never taught that silence is a skill. We were taught to participate, to have something to say. Rarely were we taught that the most powerful thing can be saying nothing. When you're comfortable not speaking unless you have something worth saying, something shifts. You become the person people wait for. In groups, people look at you when they want a real opinion. They know you won't just fill the air. One-on-one conversations go deeper. They go to places they wouldn't go with someone who talks constantly. Silence is where people go deep. They say things in the quiet they'd never say in constant chatter. Your presence is enough. That comfort with just being is magnetic. You're not trying to fill the room. You're not trying to fill the gap. You're just there, fully there. And that's enough. People feel the difference. They might not name it, but they feel it. Most of us were never taught that we could be valuable by saying nothing. That our job in a conversation isn't always to add. Sometimes it's to hold space, to let the other person fill it. Try it. Next time there's a pause, don't rush to fill it. Let it sit for a few seconds. See what happens. Most people will fill it, and what they say when they fill it often matters more than what they said before. The silence was the invitation. You didn't have to say anything. Your comfort with the pause said everything. If you want to practice, start small. Next conversation you're in, let one pause go unfilled. Count to 3 in your head. See who speaks. See what they say. Most of the time, someone will step in. And what they say when they step in often tells you more than what they said before. The silence gave them permission to go deeper. You didn't have to say a word. Your comfort with the pause did the work. That's phrase 4. Phrase 5. I appreciate you. Not thank you. Not I appreciate what you did. Those are transactional. They close a loop. They're about the exchange. I appreciate you is different. Thanks for the report. Thanks for helping. Thanks for showing up. They're about actions, services, tasks. I appreciate you acknowledges the person, not the output, not the favor, not what they did, who they are, not their function, their character. Your friend shows up again when things are hard. Thanks for being there is about the action. I appreciate you recognizes they're the kind of person who always shows up. That's character. That's who they are when no one's watching, when there's no reward, when it's just what they do, when nobody asked them to. People are desperate for this. They don't always know it, but they are. How many times have you said thank you this week? How many times have you said I appreciate you? They hear thank you all day, for the task, for the favor, for the output, for the report, for the favor, for the task. Rarely do they hear that they themselves are valued. The world treats them as functions. At work, what they produce. At home, what they provide. In every role, they're what they do for others. They're starving for someone to see past the doing and recognize the being. To be valued for who they are, not just what they offer. Reserve it for real moments, when someone shows consistency, when you notice their character. Your colleague stays late to help. Don't just say thanks for staying. Say, I appreciate you. You always show up when it counts. That shifts the focus from one act to the person behind it. From what they did to who they are. Maybe it's a parent who's always been there. Maybe it's a friend who shows up when life gets hard. Say it when you mean it. Marcus Aurelius started each day thinking about the people around him, who they were. Not what they did, their virtues, their struggles, their humanity. Not as tools, as people. Recognizing someone's existence and character beyond their utility is rare and valuable. The world doesn't do it much. Most of the time we're valued for what we produce, for what we do. When you do, you stand out. You become someone people want to be around, not for what you can do for them, for how you see them, not because you need something, because you see them. Really see them. When you're the person who sees people, not just their actions, you become rare too. They remember, they come back. People become loyal because you make them feel seen, not for their output, for their presence. Use it sparingly. If you say it all the time, it loses meaning. It becomes noise. Save it for when you've actually noticed who someone is, not just what they did. Mean it completely. Don't use it to flatter. Use it when it's true. When you say it, let it be true. The difference between thank you for what you did and I appreciate you is the difference between a transaction and a recognition. One closes a loop, the other opens a door. One closes a transaction. One opens a relationship. Save. I appreciate you for when you've really seen someone. When their character has shown up again and again. One last phrase. The hardest word to say. Only one word this time, but it might be the most important. That's phrase 5. Phrase 6. No. One word. The hardest to say. Someone asks for your time, your energy, your presence. You don't want to give it. Maybe it's a meeting, maybe it's a favor, maybe it's an invitation that would drain you, maybe it's a project you don't believe in, maybe it's a person who takes more than they give. The instinct is to say yes, or maybe, or to invent an excuse. I'm busy, I have something that day, because no feels harsh, like rejection, like you're letting them down. So we soften, we hedge, we say yes when we mean no, we say maybe when we mean no, we invent reasons why we can't. Anything to avoid the one word, but every time you say yes when you mean no, you teach people something. Your time has no value. You're available to everyone for everything. Your boundaries don't exist. They learn they can ask, and you'll say yes. Even when it costs you. Even when you're exhausted. Even when you don't want to. People who can't say no are exhausted, resentful, overcommitted to things they don't care about. Their calendar is full, their life is empty. They gave away their time because they couldn't protect it. They said yes to things that didn't matter and had nothing left for what did. People don't respect them more for their availability. They respect them less. Because if you never say no, your yes doesn't mean much. It's just default. It's just what you do. Someone who can say no, they pause. They consider. If they don't want to, no, I can't. No lengthy apology. No invented excuse. No story about why. Simple, clear, final. Nothing to decode. The person asking might be surprised or annoyed, but they respect it because this person demonstrated they know what their time is worth. That they have limits. That they're not available for everything. That they can hold a line. That they mean what they say. Your yes only matters when your no is real. If you say yes to everything, your yes means nothing. When people know you're capable of saying no, your yes becomes valuable. They know you chose to show up. That makes your presence mean something. You could have said no. You didn't. Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." He didn't mean memorize definitions. He meant know what you're actually committing to. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Said silently to yourself, to your priorities, to the life you want, to the people who deserve your full presence. When you say yes to everything, you're saying no to what actually matters. To the people who deserve your full attention, to the work that matters, to rest, to the life you want. Say no without apology or excuse. You don't owe everyone your time. You don't owe everyone an explanation. Your time is yours. Protect it. Boundaries don't push people away. They attract the ones worth keeping and filter out those who only wanted you because you couldn't refuse. The right people respect limits. They want you to have them. They don't want you exhausted and resentful. The wrong people get angry when you have them. Let them go. They weren't there for you. They were there for what you could do for them. When you start saying no, it gets easier. The first few times might feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty. That's the old habit talking. Keep going. You'll have more for your yes. More attention, more energy, more presence for the people and things that actually matter. Your no protects your yes. It makes your yes worth something. Without a real no, your yes is just whatever's left over, whatever you didn't already give away. So your no isn't selfish. It's what makes your yes mean something. It's what protects your capacity to be present for what actually matters. For the people who matter. For the work that matters. For yourself. For a life that's yours. That's phrase 6. All 6. Tell me more about that. I don't know. That sounds difficult. Silence. I appreciate you. Number 6 phrases. One way of showing up. Together, they're not a checklist. They're a mindset. You're not adding 6 new moves. You're removing the habit of performing, the habit of filling space, the habit of fixing, the habit of needing to know, the habit of never stopping, the habit of saying yes when you mean no. Strip those away. What's left when you remove those? Presence, honesty, attention, the real you, the ability to listen, the willingness to not know, the patience to not fix, the comfort with silence, the habit of seeing people, the strength to protect your time. That's what's left when you stop performing. When you stop trying to impress, when you stop filling every gap, that's what draws people in. Not tricks, not tactics to get people to like you, no performance required, just presence. Character made visible through how you communicate. What actually attracts people is not your words. It's who you are when you speak them, when you don't speak, when you listen, when you say no, when you're honest about what you don't know, when you don't try to fix what someone just needed to be heard. None of these require performing. They require presence. Being interested enough to listen, secure enough to admit ignorance, patient enough to validate without solving, comfortable enough with silence that you don't fill it with noise, attentive enough to see people beyond their utility, strong enough to protect your time. You don't have to be the loudest in the room, or the funniest, or the most knowledgeable. You have to be the one who's actually there. Present, clear, honest. That's it. That's the whole list. 6 principles. 1 mindset. You're not adding a performance to your day. You're not learning new tricks. You're subtracting everything that gets in the way of real connection, of being fully there. The Stoics understood. Attraction isn't addition, it's subtraction. Less performance, less noise, less need to be right or impressive or always on, more presence, more honesty, more of who you actually are. Stop trying to be impressive. Stop filling every silence. Stop saying yes when you mean no. The moment you stop performing is the moment people start paying attention, not to what you say, to who you are when you say it. The most attractive thing you can do is stop trying to be attractive. Just be present. Everything else follows. You don't need a different personality. You don't need to become someone else. You need to show up as you are. Less performed, less defended, more present. You don't need more charisma. You need less performance. You don't need better stories. You need to listen to theirs. Each of these is a practice, not a one-time fix. You'll forget. You'll slip into old habits. You'll interrupt when you meant to say, "Tell me more." You'll offer advice when you meant to say, "That sounds difficult." You'll fill the silence. You'll say yes when you meant no. You'll interrupt when you meant to let them finish. Then you'll remember and try again. That's the work. That's always been the work. Not to get it right once, to keep coming back to it. Every conversation is a chance. Every pause is a chance. Every time someone shares a problem is a chance. No one gets it perfect. The goal isn't perfection. It's presence. It's showing up a little more as you are and a little less as you think you should be. If this hit home, subscribe to Stoic Ocean. More on Stoicism, presence, and the kind of character that doesn't need to perform. If you want more of this, hit subscribe. Like this video if it was useful. Leave a comment. Which of these 6 will you try first? Or which one do you already use without thinking? I read them. They help me know what to make next. Which phrase landed most? Your answer helps. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. You didn't need to. That matters. That's presence right there. Pick one of the 6. Just one. Try it this week. See what shifts for you. Tell me more about that. I don't know. That sounds difficult. A few seconds of silence. I appreciate you. No, see what shifts. Notice the difference. It helps. Notice what happens when you do one of them without the others watching, without trying to get a result. Just try it. You might be surprised how much changes when you change one thing, one phrase, one habit, one conversation at a time. No rush, no perfection, just practice. Stop trying to be attractive. Just be present. Everything else follows. See you in the next one. One more time. Remember, you're not trying to become someone else. You're trying to show up as you are. With a little less performance, a little more presence. That's the whole thing. 6 phrases. 6 ways to show up without performing. 6 ways to subtract what gets in the way. Pick one. Start there. The rest will follow. You're not becoming someone new. You're removing what gets in the way of who you are. One phrase at a time, one conversation at a time. That's how it works.